Thank you for the opportunity today. I'm honored to be here to have a conversation with you. I have about 10 minutes, 15 minutes? 15? Okay. I don't know what's happening with the weather. It's been dull and raining, and I'll try to give you a cheery message, hopefully, to counter that. I don't even know where to start, to be honest, but I will try to have a conversation and hopefully make sense of my thoughts. First off, if you haven't read the book, you know I'm a salesman, so I'm always going to sell. I did give 3 copies to the organizers here, so the lucky 3 would get a free copy. I definitely would recommend that you pick up a copy and read it. I wrote it for you. I think the reason I wrote the book is for actually 3 reasons. 1, to tell the world the story of a tortured teenager and many teenagers like me at one point. And then 2 is to really give a voice to the next generation of people like yourself so that you understand what transpired in Sri Lanka, to give a voice to you. And then 3, probably one of the most important things is to really give homage to Canada for building a society that respects freedom and choice. And I think we should never, ever forget personal freedoms and democratic rights are very important. And we live in a world now, sometimes those things are not treated like precious commodity. And if you let that deteriorate, you end up getting Sri Lanka. So don't ever let anyone take your personal freedoms and democratic rights away. I don't care which side of the political angle it comes from. So keep that in mind. So with that, let me give you maybe a sense of my journey from mailroom to executive room and the things that I have deployed in my journey to get to where I am today. But I will do it with a caveat. Just because it worked for me, it doesn't mean that's going to work for you. But even if you take 1 or 2 out of it, then you will have a chance of having some success in other fields. And the other thing I will also say is that don't ever let somebody tell you that whatever you put your mind to it, you can achieve, which is not true. I can't be a basketball player. I'm 5'8", and I don't jump. So right there, that whole idea of if you put your mind to something, you'll be successful, it's a ludicrous notion. But you can do something. Every single one of us are born with certain talent. So specialize on the talent that you have. This is innate to you. Nobody can know that. And so for me, when I started at the age of 19 in the mailroom, I just wanted to get a job so I can get some food in my belly and perhaps have a couple of beers in the weekend. But then I realized there was something called asset management business, and I had some amazing mentors along the way. Then I decided then I should probably pursue that as a career. But one thing you have to always do is do things to perfection. So you think about the world that we live in, it's highly competitive. Everybody wants to have success. Everyone's chasing success. And if you had a job opening in a special field, maybe 50 people applying for it, why you? So one of the most important things to do in life is to differentiate yourself. Because if you generalize, that's just common denominator thinking. You need to stand out in the crowd. You need to be someone who will be noticed. So my job was, when I became a asset management VP for sales when I was 29 years old, I needed to figure out how was going to differentiate myself. Because the reality is, 9 out of 10 human interactions are not memorable, not at all. So if I'm going to go to an investor to make a pitch for the products that I am pushing on behalf of my firm, and why me? I'm in a suit just like anyone else. I'm saying the same things about the markets, pretty much. Why me? So everything you do in life, you must figure out a way to stand out, to differentiate yourself, which is very important. Doesn't matter what business you're in. Second, you need to do more than what you're asked to do. And that is important. Work ethic matters. Hard work matters. There is dignity in hard work. Always do more than the person next to you. That's how you get differentiated. Now, I'm not suggesting just because you do that, some boss is going to let you go higher up in the ranks, because sometimes nepotism and favoritism does play in workplaces. But assuming there's fairness, then you will get noticed. And luckily for me, I had some great bosses that noticed my hard work, my passion for the business, and always doing something more than what I was asked to do. So I was in predominantly a white male industry when I started. And I was on Bay Street one time in 1988. I was doing a cleaning job. I was a cleaner of office buildings. During daytimes, I was working in a factory for 15 hours a day with a glue gun in hand. Then I would come back and I'd go clean buildings at night with a few people I know. Then on the weekends, I will be a security guard. I was 120 pounds and I didn't even know how to fight. And having me as a security guard is a pretty sad scene. But anyways, it paid me. And I did school at night. So I was a pretty busy kid. And as I was cleaning this building at, I don't know how many of you are familiar with downtown that often, but 44 King Street is the King and Bay corner, the Scotiabank building. I was cleaning this building and I was walking through these offices and I saw a nice corner office with a mini fridge and everything, wine fridge. I'm thinking, I should have this life one day. And I got to figure out a way to get a job in this financial services industry. They're all wearing nice suits and seem happy. So I came home one night, and Toronto Sun is the newspaper that all my roommates had. 8 of us lived in a small place. I was flicking through that, and I saw this ad that said, office job, office help needed, $14K. I didn't know what K meant, but I applied anyways. And luckily, I got a phone call back from a lady and said, you know, come for an interview, to which I went at Young and Sinclair. And so I didn't have a resume because I couldn't have a resume. And so during the interview, she realized that I'm incapable of working in an office, I guess, and she deemed me not worthy of the job. Now, I thought, to be honest, I was going to work in that place, but it's turned out to be a job agency. I didn't even know there's such a thing called job agencies. Keep in mind, I'm very new to the country and I had no coaching whatsoever. So then I realized, as I was leaving, the receptionist there was trying to give an address of this place that the person who they sent couldn't find the building, so she was having a difficult time trying to explain to him where this place is. And I could hear her repeating this address, 401 Bay Street, 12th floor. Yes, that's right, Universal Group, Simpson Tower. Yeah, that's where the job is. And I'm thinking, aha, that's where the job is. So I hopped on a train. I didn't even know how to go downtown. I asked one of those guys, and he said, take the train southbound, get off at Queen Station, go outside, and in front of the old clock tower, or the bell, which is the old city hall. So I went in. I went to the 12th floor. I demanded, I must have the job. And Juliet was the receptionist. She said, no, you have to come through the agency, but I wouldn't leave. So there was a nice manager who heard me making noise, and she wanted to avoid the scene, and she came in and she got me into her office, and I said, you must give me this job. I'll work for free, and if you don't think that I am the guy for the job, you fire me, but I need the job. And I told her about my story. I told her I'm going to bring my mom from Sri Lanka, and she was recently widowed. And guess what? She said, You seem like a kid that wants to work hard. I'll give you that job. Her name is Gail Wright, and still a good friend of mine. And since then, I just worked my buns off. And everything I did it better than the person next to me. So when I applied for the sales role, at the time, the CEO said to me, I don't see a salesman in you. I said, what do you see me as? He said, you should be an analyst, and you should probably pursue the portfolio management side like Rohan here. Of course, he didn't know Rohan, but I was just pointing out to the fact that he is here. And, but I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to be in sales. And the more he told me that I couldn't do, the more I wanted to do it. So I got the job anyways. And I went to Vancouver. That was my first posting in 1998 at the age of 29. And there was a guy who was supposed to show me the ropes of the business. And he was supposed to be the head of the Western region. Within 4 years, I became his boss. Then I became the boss of the Western region. Then I became the head of asset management here for Canada, and also the executive. And everyone who thought I couldn't succeed, I proved them wrong. And thank you. So what I'm trying to say here with that story is, don't ever let anyone tell you you can't. At the same time, don't let anyone tell you that you can do anything you want. Figure out what your core strengths are and follow the basic rules that applies in every field. Hard work wins. There's dignity in hard work. Differentiation matters. Always change. Don't be afraid of change. Be very afraid of not changing. To improve is to change. And learn from everyone and everything. Always, always keep learning about the industry more than think about the trends. Think about the new products that are coming, or think about ways to enhance whatever that you are doing better. Your role in this world is to, whatever you find, to leave it behind better than you have found it. In that, I'll close by saying, there are only two things human beings should be guaranteed. Only two things. Freedom and choice. When you have that, your society will reward you for the good choices you make, and may punish you or not reward you for the bad choices you make. That's the price of freedom. So just always remember that. Do not let anyone take your personal freedoms away. Appreciate this country for what it is. Enhance it, embrace it, and when you leave this planet or leave this country, leave it better than you have found it. Good luck to you all. Thank you.